On our last visit to the laser factory, we looked at helmet production. Now let's take a look at the rigorous testing procedures. Well, it's down to serious business now. We like to have a bit of fun when we're out and about, but this is serious stuff. This is probably life or death, this end, isn't it? This is where the helmets are tested.
This is where it all gets very serious indeed, yeah. This is the test rig where we can test to many different standards throughout the world. Of course, we're here representing British Standards particular test, whereby a head form is closely representative of the actual head in terms of its dissipation of shock energy to the brain is placed inside a helmet and will be then taken up to a height of approximately 3 meters and dropped at around about 24 miles an hour for the Type A impact.
Right, I mean, my initial reaction to that is probably the same as everybody else's. Well, 24 mile an hour, I'm going to be doing a lot quicker than that when I come off my bike.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, so.
We do understand that, and of course it's a very common misconception that people were going to be falling off at 60, 70 miles an hour, but it's not a sudden stop impact, hopefully. Right. It's generally considered throughout the academics that 30 miles an hour would be perhaps the maximum speed at which your head could withstand a sudden stop. So right. It's not something that we would like to pursue.
So this is 20 odd miles an hour, but that's banged down to a stop, isn't it?
Exactly.
And you've got different things on there. That, yeah. What do they? They're different types of impacts.
Different types of impact, trying to represent many different varieties of surface on which you possibly could come into contact. This is the hemispherical dome, which will be representing curbs, etc., or maybe some sort of sharp cornered edge of a building. Mm-hmm. There's also this type of device, which is the anvil, again representing...
Particularly nasty, that one.
It is, and it focuses the actual point of impact into a very small area of the helmet, so the helmet really has to be up to its highest specification to pass this test.
So Andy, we've got two halves of, two different helmets actually, but showing pretty frightening results, I would think.
Yeah, now this shell is representing the helmet prior to an impact test. As you can see, the outer shell there is made from the iMac material with the EPS liner, the expanded polystyrene, and the cloth interior trim there. Mm. That represents, as I said, the helmet prior to an impact. If we then go to look at this model...
It's a perfect fit that all the way around, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Now, as you can see now by this model, we've actually impacted this helmet, and the EPS liner has, in fact, substantially reduced in thickness. This is because the outer shell has flexed, has absorbed and dissipated the shock over a large area, but beware, folks, on the exterior of the helmet, there is no visible area of damage.
There isn't a mark on. There's hardly a mark on that, and for something to do that much damage to the inside, it's given a hell of a crack.
The point to beware of is that should there be a requirement of this EPS liner to dissipate shock to the same extent, again, it's just not going to be able to do it. So the word is, if you've had an accident, replace the helmet.
Right, and another good thing is don't buy a second-hand helmet because you never know what's happened to you. Can you believe that? I mean, look, I've just took this helmet off that test bed and, well, I'm rooting to find the actual point of impact. I mean, it's there somewhere, isn't it? And that's had 2 tests because I didn't believe the first one. I thought, no, it can't be possible. And it even went up higher the second time. But, I mean, that's astonishing. I've dropped helmets off fridge freezers at home and had marks in them and chips in them and things, and that's incredible, that. But, I mean, we don't just look at it and say, oh, yeah, it's passed. We could cut it open, I suppose, but all the results come up here, don't they, on this fancy little machine here. So what does that tell us, the machine?
That's right, Paul. Well, on the left-hand side is the scale which details the amount of G-force transmitted to the brain or to the entire inside of your head, and on the bottom scale is the milliseconds, the amount of time with which that G-force is transmitted. It goes up to 300 G, which is in fact the BSI test. And from our first result, we scored 144. And then I
didn't believe that.
No, you didn't. Of course, 300 G is the pass rate, and we scored 144.
So less than half of what it needs. It's more than twice as good as it needs to be, really, I suppose.
Well, the second test of BSI, within the same parameters, is it's actually taken up to a slightly lower height, simulating a slightly slower secondary impact speed. But we took it back up to the first impact speed again, and the resultant score is 196, as shown here.
That's brilliant, that. Amazing. Incredible. So there you have it, in a nutshell. Well, if you thought that last test looked pretty serious stuff, and indeed it was, this one here behind me is just as serious. There's a hell of a weight on here. What, just to test a strap? Is that?
Well, yes, it's just testing the strap. What you've got here is 10 kilograms of weight dropping at a height of 75 centimetres. Its purpose is to test the dynamic elongation and the permanent elongation of the strap in the event of an accident, and also the ability of the buckle to maintain its security. Now, if you think that's excessive, the buckle itself is actually opened and closed in both saltwater conditioning and under normal conditions over 5,000 times to maintain that the buckle will in fact work during the course of its helmet's life.
And the strap, I mean, it will elongate, won't it? Then obviously there is a tolerance that has to be within, you know, I mean, it will go a little
The
bit.
elongation will be a maximum of 2 millimetres.
Well, that's how good a helmet needs to be to meet BSI approval. But whilst all of this was going on, Wayne was up to his usual tricks.
Well, if you think that's excessive, the buckle itself is open and closed. You shouldn't have made me laugh.
So Andy, I mean, we've seen everything from a shell being painted to having the decals on, polished up, all the bits on it, goes in a box, finishes up on the shelf. But who decides what helmets you're going to make in the future, or the different models? Because I mean, who designs them?
Well, we have both a team of internal and externally based designers who come up with propositions for designs on both existing models and future developments, which of course will be remaining secret for the purposes of this film.
Well, you know, this here is the R&D, isn't it? Research and development.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is there any chance of just having a quick peek in there with the old camera?
I'd love to, Paul, but let me assure you, even I had to sign the Official Secrets Act, Belgian version, of course.
So, right, okay. All right, well, I'll let you off. So where does it start? Does it start off with, what, a sketch on a pad? Or is
Pretty
it...
much so. Someone will come up with an idea, and then we'll come up with maybe then an assortment of CAD-CAM produced images, which we can look at. And before we go to three-dimensional samples, we will look at the two-dimensional pictures and select items for further development.
Right, I see. Excellent. Right, so, I mean, what's this is about? This is the... We've seen this one, haven't we?
Yeah, this is some pre-production sample colour options on the Falcon RX.
Right. And you've not got anything from the future that you can show us at all?
It's all behind
There's no chance?
locked doors.
Not even for a nice bottle of Belgian beer?
Not even for you guys. It's totally off limits.
Is it?
All right, lads.
There.
What you got?
Where have you been?
In there with smashing people.
You're not allowed.
Very helpful.
Out of bounds, that is.
Oh, it's the research and development place. It's fantastic. Oh, you won't be able to go in and film or anything. But I mean, I've gone in because it's like, it's not what you know. It's like who you know.
This is mine.
It's not been. It's one of them that's been tested, isn't it? And
No,
just throw it away.
no, never been dropped.
'Cause that was impressive. The test.
Oh, that brilliant. I mean, that shows that these really are twice as good as they need to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
well, anyway, let me just get back to this before we don't want to miss off the point. What do you mean this is yours?
It's a gift.
So like,
To
where's
me.
mine?
Well, I've got yours.
Oh,
I mean,
cheers, eh?
You know, they can make helmets to fit any head. They come in all sizes.
Excellent. Made to
So,
measure.
There we go.
And like, where am I supposed to put that?
Don't start that now.